Arguably, one of the most important parts of being a storm chaser is being able to read storm structure on radar and in the field. This is not only important to be a better storm chaser, but you need to be able to orient yourself to keep yourself out of harm's way. So first things first, I want to show you everything that I know about reading storm structure. Let's get into it. This is a classic image of a supercell. In fact, it doesn't really get any more well-defined than this. Actually, often in nature, they're not this well-defined at all. For example, this is one of the tornado-producing supercells that hit Kentucky in December 2021. But sometimes they are that well-defined. This is a tornadic supercell that dropped a tornado in Gaylord, Michigan in May 2022. So, as you can see, they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. But what exactly are we looking at here? This cell is traveling from the southwest to the northeast, or some variation of that. They nearly always do. Although, I've seen supercells go due north before, so it's important to keep track on your radar and pay attention. That makes this the front, and this the back. This front part of the storm is called the Forward Flank Downdraft, or FFD. It's where you're going to get a lot of rain and heavy winds. This part of the storm is called the Hail Core. It's where the majority of the heaviest precipitation lies, including large hailstones. Here's an image of a massive hail core we found in western Nebraska. As you can see, it kind of looks like rain, but it's white. We did not want to get trapped in that thing. This hook-like structure in the storm is called the Rear Flank Downdraft, or RFD, and it's extremely important for tornado development and supercells. Here's a part of the storm we're really interested in. The storm is being fed energy from the southeast into the main updraft of the storm called the rain-free base. Circle in red, as the name implies, the rain-free base, because it's an updraft, doesn't produce any rain. And because it doesn't produce any rain, it doesn't even show up on this type of radar. Here's a picture of the massive rain-free base that produced the Andover, Kansas tornado on April 29, 2022. Here's another picture we got in Nebraska. On the left side, you can see the rain-free base, and on the right side, you can see the forward flank downdraft. Now, something can happen. Within the area of the storm, a rotating vortex of air can develop called a mesocyclone. We'll go into why that happens more in a future video. Now, if a mesocyclone's rotation is strong enough, it'll cause that rear flank downdraft to rotate around it and punch into the rain-free base. And if it has rain, it creates this hook-like signature called a hook echo. Now, if the rear flank downdraft doesn't have any rain, that cold air will punch through the base as it wraps around and create a horseshoe-shaped clearing in the clouds. And because there's no rain involved, this structure doesn't even show up on this type of radar, which picks up precipitation. This clearing is called a clear slot, and it's a very strong indicator of tornadic activity. Here you can see that cloud clearing as the cold air punches through that base. I consider the clear slot one of my strongest tornado indicators, and this storm dropped one just a few minutes later. Here's a picture of a very visible clear slot at the Andover, Kansas tornado. These structures are incredibly important to keep in mind because a tornado is most likely to develop at the end of that hook at the north end of that clear slot. As you can see, there's a lot to look out for, but in time those structures and terms become second nature. And when it becomes second nature, it expands your ability to storm chase exponentially. So it's incredibly important to know, and it can help keep you safe in the field. So best of luck out there, always stay safe, and keep chasing.